everyone, welcome to yet another session at Vidyanan Online. So, in the last session we studied about how to memorize the modern periodic table. Now in this session we are going to understand more about modern periodic table and how this table was prepared. So let's start with the session. First of all, who is the father of periodic table? Yes, he is Mendeleev. So Mendeleev said that the properties of elements are the periodic function of their, yes, you got it right, it is atomic masses. However, the periodic table that was laid by Mendeleev had certain limitations that we have discussed in earlier session. So, with time, when the number of elements being discovered increased and fitting them into periodic table as per increasing atomic masses became very difficult. So with all the difficulties, the question arises, how do we classify the elements? So the only way was to modify the Mendeleev periodic law. But how can this be done? The Mendeleev periodic table was modified in years. It took scientists many years to realize the fact that the periodic table can be modified, and the modification was done gradually. In 1913, the British physicist Henry Moseley found an interesting fact. He realized that instead of atomic mass, all the elements shows periodicity if elements are arranged on the basis of their atomic number. So in 1913, Moseley showed that the atomic number is the more fundamental property than atomic mass. He mentioned that two elements can have same atomic masses. However, they cannot have same atomic number. That is why atomic number is the more fundamental property on behalf of which the element should be classified. You will be surprised to know that Moseley was just 28 years when he died. So he was one of the young scientists who contributed a lot to chemistry and also to physics. So hey, what is atomic number? Is it any random number which is assigned to an element? No. An atomic number actually represents the number of protons present in the nucleus of an atom of an element. So let us have a look at the atomic structure. So an atom is made up of nucleus and electrons revolve around that nucleus. Now in the nucleus we have protons and neutrons. So atomic number is equal to the number of protons in a nucleus, and every element have unique number of protons. Therefore, atomic number is unique for every element. So therefore, there can be no confusion if we take atomic number as the basis of classification. Now the second point is that atomic number is equal to number of protons and number of protons is equal to number of electrons. So we can say that atomic number is equal to number of electrons. Now according to this concept, the nucleus is deep rooted inside the atom. However, the electrons and especially the outermost electrons are free to move, and that is why electrons in the outermost shell participates in the chemical reactions. Because of this reason, the properties of an element depends on the atomic number and not the atomic mass, because atomic mass is actually number of protons plus number of neutrons. However, the chemical properties are dependent on number of electrons, because electrons are only participating in the chemical reaction. Therefore, if we take atomic number as a basis of a classification, it means we have taken a very good decision. Now the third point, the atomic number helps in arranging the elements according to their electronic configuration. Now the cause of periodicity seen in the properties is due to the repetition of similar electronic configuration after regular interval of time. If you see the electronic configuration of alkali metals, you will find that all the elements that fall under this group have similar kind of electronic configuration and have only one electrons as well as electron, and therefore they are grouped together in a single group. Now next, the atomic number increases regularly by 1 from one element to next. So it was found that as you increase the number of proton by 1, you will get different element, which gives a strong base that why we are classifying the elements as per the atomic number. So it was Henry Moseley who discovered the atomic number. He could relate the atomic number with the periodicity of elements, and therefore he gave the modern periodic law, which states that the properties of elements are the periodic function of their, periodic function of their atomic number. Now, the basis of modern periodic law was that they were arranging the elements as per the similarity of electronic configuration. So if you see the elements here, lithium, sodium and potassium, they all have similar kind of electronic configuration. They all have one electron in the outermost shell. If you see here, it has one electron. Similarly, sodium also have one electron in the outermost shell, and potassium also have one electron in the outermost shell. So when the elements are arranged in the order of increasing atomic number, then the elements having the same number of electrons in the outermost shell occurs at regular interval, and that was the basis of the classification done in modern periodic table. So it was Niels Bohr who prepared the long form of periodic table. So Niels Bohr prepared the modern periodic table by arranging the elements in the form of increasing atomic number in horizontal rows called periods, such that all the elements having the same valence electrons fall in the same vertical column called group. So he actually prepared the table in the form of horizontal rows and columns. The horizontal rows are actually called periods and vertical columns are called groups. So let us see the table which is prepared by Niels Bohr. So in this table, if you see, we have 7 periods. These periods are actually the horizontal rows, and there are 18 groups. So these 18 groups are actually 18 columns, right? Now let us have a look on period number 1. So period number 1 comprises of 2 elements. If you see here, we have hydrogen and helium. Right. So in period number 1 is actually a very short period consisting of 2 elements only. So if I talk about period number 2, it consists of 8 elements, and these elements are lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. So it is called a short period because it consists of 8 elements only. Now if I talk about the third period, so the third period again consists of only 8 elements. That is why it is also called a short period. It consists of sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon. Now talking about period number 4. So period number 4 is actually a long period consisting of 18 elements. Period number 5, it also consists of 18 elements. That is why it is also called a long period. Now talking about period number 6 and 7. So period number 6 is actually a period consisting of 32 elements, and that is why it is called very long period. Similarly, period number 7 is also called very long period, again consisting of 32 elements. Now we have a separate panel below the main periodic table, and that panel actually tells you about the 2 series, which is lanthanide series and actinide series. Now since in the lanthanide series the first element is lanthanum, and that is why the series is called lanthanide series. If I talk about actinide series, so why it is called actinide series? Because its first element is actinium, that is why it is called actinide series. Now let us have look on periods. So talking about the periods, so we have 7 periods. Now leaving the first period, every other period starts from the alkali metal and will end up with noble gases. Next, the first element of every period has 1 electron in the outermost shell, whereas the last element of every period will have 8 electrons in the valence shell. Now since every element in the period have different electronic configuration, for example if I talk about lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon, they all have different electronic configuration. They all have different electrons in the valence shell, and that is why they will have different properties. Now let us have a close look on the groups. So we have 18 groups in the modern periodic table. So if I talk about group number 1 and 2, so group number 1 and 2 and also group number 13 to 17, they are called normal groups because they consist of normal elements, because they have only outermost shell which is incomplete. However, if I talk about group number 3 to group number 12, so these groups consist of transition elements. So why we are telling them transition elements? Because their outermost shell and also the shell which is inside the outermost shell, which is penultimate shell, they are incomplete. Now the elements in the lanthanide series, which starts from the atomic number 57 and ends at atomic number 71, are the elements of lanthanide series, and the elements which starts with atomic number 89 and ends at atomic number 103 are called the elements of actinide series. Now the question arises, why do we place them in different panel? Why do we have lanthanides and actinides placed in different panel? Now this is because if we would have placed lanthanide series here and actinide series here, then the entire periodic table could not have come in a single page. So in order to have the entire periodic table in a single page, we have this lanthanide and actinide series placed as a panel. Now the elements in a group do not have consecutive atomic number. If you see here in this group number 1, the elements hydrogen, lithium, sodium, they do not have consecutive atomic number. However, they have similar kind of electronic configuration, and that is why they show similar kind of chemical and physical properties. I am pretty much sure by now you must be having the clear idea of modern periodic table. Now let us jump right into the concept of how modern periodic table fixed the anomalies of Mendeleev periodic table. So modern periodic table fixed the following anomalies which were seen in Mendeleev periodic table. One was the position of isotopes. So what are isotopes? So if the atoms of an element have different atomic mass but same atomic number, then we can say that those atoms are the isotopes of an element. For example, you must have seen isotopes of carbon. Isotopes of carbon are C12 and C14. So the carbon having the atomic mass of 14 is actually radioactive. Now since modern periodic table is actually not dealing with atomic masses, therefore there is no problem in placing the elements having different isotopes in same slot, and that is why in modern periodic table all the isotopes of the elements do not have separate places on the table. Talking about position of cobalt and nickel. Now, since Mendeleev used atomic mass as the basis of classification, so in certain cases there were breaking of the rule, which we have seen in the last session. So cobalt came before nickel. However, since modern periodic table do not work with atomic mass, that is why this problem is irrelevant. Therefore, there is no such problem in modern periodic table. Now the last and very important, position of hydrogen. So Mendeleev could not actually tell or could not actually figure out that why hydrogen is placed in group number 1. However, since in modern periodic table we are actually grouping the elements as per their electronic configuration. So since the electronic configuration of hydrogen is similar to the electronic configuration of alkali metals, that is why it is placed just above alkali metals, and thus there is no dilemma in finding the correct position of hydrogen. So these were the merits of modern periodic table, that it was able to remove all the discrepancies, all the anomalies of Mendeleev periodic table. Now I have a question for you. Out of 118 elements which are known to us, how many elements occur naturally. So you have to tell me that out of 118 elements which are known to us, how many of them are natural occurring, and from those natural occurring elements, how many of them are stable and how many of them are radioactive. Think about it, search about it and write your answer in the comment section. I am pretty much sure you must have loved the session. Now I am going to meet you in the last session of this chapter, in which we are going to study about characteristics of periods and characteristics of groups. That is very important from exam point of view. So I am going to meet you there. Till then, bye bye and take care of yourself.